Hey painting friends, it's Stoof. You might be getting sick of flower painting tutorials by now, but we got one more for you. This one was also inspired by my Valentine's Day flower bouquet. This is painting 3 of 3 of this little Valentine's bouquet series of paintings, and the other 2 we already had videos for right back there, but this is the last one. I think these are carnations. They're little red flowers that are pretty. But that's it. That is the 3rd one, and that tutorial is coming up right now, so enjoy. Okay, so today we're gonna paint these pink flowers right here. I'm thinking it's gonna look better oriented this way, so we'll do that. And let's get our colors going here. So we've got some turquoise. I'm using acrylic paints today, and you're welcome to use whatever brand of acrylic paint works best for you. This is phthalo green. That was turquoise. I'm gonna use some titanium white, black, midnight blue, also need some olive green or olive drab. Let's also use some primary yellow, some yellow ochre, also gonna have some red, and magenta, and some vermilion red, which is like our warmer red, also some deep violet, and some sangria red, or like a dark reddish brown. All right, so I'm referencing the flowers here. I'm looking at them straight ahead from this angle, maybe slightly down. And we've got our acrylic paints here. For a palette, I'm just using a piece of parchment paper. And for my canvas, I'm using an 8" by 10" canvas panel. You are welcome to use any size canvas you'd like. We also have some paint brushes. We have a cup for water to clean off our brushes. And we have some napkins. You can use cloth, or I like the Viva paper towels for wiping down my brushes. All right, we're only going to use 4 brushes to complete this one. We have a small round tip brush, a small angled flat tip brush, a liner brush, and this larger brush that I'm going to use for the background. And the approach for this one is going to be a little different than the other 2 flower paintings that I just did recently, because there are a lot of little empty spaces between the flowers on this one. So I am going to start by just completely covering the canvas with background color, and then we'll just add the flowers on top. So for the background color, we're going with more of a turquoise, like a dark turquoise blue. Add some black to that, a little bit of yellow. I just like love this color with pink. It's so pretty. And we're just going to completely cover the canvas with this color. Some more turquoise, green, black. Try to get kind of a smooth blend. It can be a little choppy if that's how you like it, but don't leave any streaks of white. All right, cool. We're gonna leave that to dry for about 20 minutes and then come back and start to add some flowers. All right guys, so it's been about 30 to 40 minutes, and the background color is now totally dry. You guys don't have that glare anymore now that the paint's dry for the background. So we're ready to start painting the flowers. And I think I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Peruvian lilies that were in a vase, and I'm going to get just a little bit of the vase, but mostly focus on the flowers. And while I'm looking at this, I'm thinking the center is going to be the top of this guy. So I'm going to start with this red color from Magic Fly, and we're going to mix some magenta into that and some of our vermilion red from Artesa's set, and just thin the paint down slightly. And then looking at this, I want the top to be at center, so from top to bottom and left to right, center is about right here. That's the top of this one. And I'm basically just going to paint the shape. It's kind of round, like a little bit flowy. You can get away with just using this red color to start. And you want to lay the paint on pretty thick so that you don't leave any of that turquoise visible underneath. And there's that one. And then we've got one right here. Kind of is a little bit in front of that other one. It's larger. And that shape looks more like this. And we got another one down here that starts just about a ½ inch below and doesn't touch either one of these for the petals, doesn't touch either one of those. And we're just going to fill in all that space there. Alright, moving up. I'm going to mix a little bit of this pink magenta color in here. And we're going to put this one at a ½ inch at a 45-degree angle up from that. And this one you can actually see the bottom of the flower, so the shape that we're going to put in here is a little different than the other ones we put down so far. Then we're moving up, we got one up here, same thing, you can see the bottom of the flower, it's like a side profile view of the flower. There we are. And let's see, we have two more flowers. We have one right here. And think about keeping everything center as well. So I see I have about 1 inch on this side of space. So I want to leave about 1 inch of space on this side too, just to keep everything kind of centered. So even though this might be a little farther off to the left, the way that I'm perceiving it in real life now, I'm going to move it a little closer to all the other ones in the painting. And we got one more back here. It's kind of partially covered up by the one in front of it there. And we'll put this one, make it end about right there. So you can't really see the bottom of it too much. Alright, make sure you got good even coverage of this paint and you don't have too much texture unless that's what you're going for. Then add all the texture you'd like. Alright, and we're going to clean off this brush really well. We're going to let those flowers be for a bit and work on the stems now that we got the flowers. I guess we also can do the little bit of glass vase at the bottom that's visible. So I'm just mixing white, black, and a little midnight blue. And we're just gonna get this vase shape. It's kind of like this. You can kind of slightly see the back there. All right, and then, yeah, the outer part of it, just use some blue. Little hints of that background color. And a little bit of white and black. Tiny bit of yellow. Just for like a little reflection of lights. Got a little white on the lip. And then some dark. And then we need a little bit of white for the water in the vase. It's kind of reflecting all the colors around. All right, cool. So we basically got the vase in there. Pretty simple. Not going to go into too much detail with it. Just so we know that that's glass. All right, now let's take some of our olive green color with some yellow, a little midnight blue, and some ochre. And now we can add these little stems, just kind of coming out from the bottom, and it's smaller than the flower, like lengthwise. Just a little bit though. And it kind of comes down at the bottom. I'm gonna take a little bit of green and black and brown and make this a little darker section here. Some more yellow. And we'll just add that little stem there, kind of going down into the glass. Can add a little highlight to it. Still using that angled brush. Can add some more yellow and white. Make a little more of this highlight in here. I'm gonna take more of our darker color for under here. Bring that down. And then for this one, we can't see too much of the stem. Just put a little line there and a little highlight kind of going down. Some of these are really dark in here. Let's get this one coming down, and then it comes in. Another one right here. And you just got these little things sticking out at the base here. Get a little more blue. Gonna add a few stems. Over here we've got more. There's a little stem that comes over this way. Just got a little bud. Little flower bud. And let's get some more yellow and ochre. A little midnight. Add this one here. Right from the center coming down. And it comes to meet there. Just got this little like triangle thing at the base. This little thing sticking out. Same with this one. You can see some of the part under it. There's another little bud over here. And this one back here, we can't see too much more. But there are more buds. Another bud over here. There's one right here. Just taking some more white and the midnight blue. You can add a couple little highlights on here. And more yellow with this olive color. Give us some nice highlights on the little buds and on the little under parts of the flowers. Kind of make it go in lines. Let's just take more blue with a little black and yellow just to get a nice dark green, and add a few more little bits and shadows to these stems. All right, now let's move back to the flowers. So this part under the flower, you need some white, a little bit of that reddish brown color, a tiny bit of black. And we're just gonna do a couple little V's here, kind of go up to the flower. Same with this one. And this one. It's making little V shapes and bringing that right up to the base of the flower there. All right, looks nice. Now we can get the actual petals on the flower. So we're gonna need some shadow colors first. So we're gonna take purple with this red from the Magic Fly kit, which is just like kind of a cool red. All you need is a cool red for that. And then some black and actual red, like vermilion color. And let's see where that gets us. You're gonna use your angled brush. And the first thing we're gonna start with this one back here. So first just add some little outlines for where one little petal starts and another one ends. Just like that. And we're gonna do this for all of them, and then we'll start to add more color and highlights later. If you want it to get more detailed, then you can use a liner brush, and that'll definitely give you more detailed little shadow lines here. Can't see much with this one. This one we've got lots of shadows built in here. Alright, so I got those outlines in. Now we're going to clean off our brush really good. Now we're going to take some pink and this other red, some white, get a nice bright highlight. And we can add this wherever we want. So we basically everywhere that in between these little outlines that we put in. And then you can just take some red, kind of let that, or some purple, start down here and let that build up. Got a little bit of a shadow underneath. And some more of that red color. So doing those outlines kind of helps to build some dark, and it helps you to see where to put more of your highlights. Now it looks more legit. And you can just take some violet and put that in here to add a few more little shadows if you need to. All right, now I'll move over to this one. Take some red. Take a little bit of violet. A little more violet over here. And just some red. Okay, move on to this guy. Red and magenta. Some red. And let's see, we got like red with white in here. Some of that warm red too. Building up a little bit more of the shadows, and then I want to get things a little bit cooler and darker on this side, this flower, just to separate these two flowers. There we go. And we can take more of just this magenta-y pink color, add that in a few spots too. Adding some more shadows, trying to get a little bit of blending into. Adding some more little highlights. Looks good. Let's move up to this guy. Pink and red and white. Got nice highlights here. There we go. And then it's dark underneath here again, so we want to use our purple. Kind of pull that up. Let it blend. It's one of our reds. Gonna boost up these highlights just a little bit. Moving down to this guy, using more red in this one. Just using my white, magenta, and red mixture to keep building up some highlights in here. I gotta deepen some shadows. And I'll take just some of this red, darken a couple of these spots at the bottom. Going around and boosting some of these little highlights in here. And then we can go over to this guy. And we'll take some magenta, or sorry, some purple with that reddish color. Let's put this in between here. Kind of let it blend in with some of these, making shadows. And we'll add some little highlights in here again. Okay, one more highlight on this one over here. Make sure you give them like kind of stubbly edges, like they don't have really smooth edges. So I'm gonna take a little more white, kind of brighten up back here. Keep separating these flowers a little more. I'll just make this whole flower a little bit lighter, and then it'll stand out from the flower in front of it. That's better. Take more pink in this one. Start over here. And I'll take some more red, kind of let it blend in with those colors. And gonna add some red in between. All these little things. There's a lot more going on with this flower. Or a lot more that we can see than the other ones. Just grabbing more of my shadow color to redo some of these shadows with some red. Let's get more red. And this one's like a shadow. Add a little shadow behind that one. And I'll take some more red, right there. And some more white with red. Get some highlights. Alright guys, we're going to call this a finished painting. It feels a little bit simpler than the other two because I didn't go into detail with the liner brush this time. I was saving time and just getting the broader picture. If you want to get more detailed and more realistic, then you would just use your liner brush for those little shadows in between all of the petals, and then you could use your liner brush again for more detailed highlights. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any recommendations for future painting videos, leave a comment and I will add that to my list of things to paint. And if you guys recreate this painting, you can post it on social media or on Instagram and tag me, the painting Stoof, so I can see your posts. I hope you guys have a great day and happy painting. Bye bye.